the problem we're going to work on for this demo is going to be problem 4.4, which is called a boiler stay. Now, if we look on Creo here, this is the part that we're going to create, but the details are found on page 106 in your textbook, and all the details are right here. There is one design change that they want us to do, and that is through the center here, they want us to change this 3/4 of an inch diameter to 0.88 inches, and we'll do that at the end. But to start off the design, we are going to actually sketch this portion right here. We're going to use a top plane to look down on it, and the center of this circle at the bottom is going to be our origin. Okay, so that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with an extrude. We're going to create this entire profile here, and I'll show you how to do that. So minimize this. So the first part we're going to start is going to be around the outside here. Then we're going to be putting in I'm going to call it the handle, and then we're going to come back and we're going to put in the circles, the holes through each one of the ears, I guess I'm going to call them, and then finally we're going to put in the rounds, the 1/2 inch diameter like fillets that are here. Now, I already set up my working directory, and so I can start a new fresh part here, and I'm going to call this the boiler day, and I'll call it _2. Please excuse my voice, getting over a cold, and it still sounds a little weird. Okay, so as I said, we are going to be looking down on the part, so we're going to be sketching off of and extruding off of our top view. So I'm going to hit the extrude. We need to do a placement, define, and we need to go off of our top view. So as I hover over the top here, I'm going to select the top plane, and I'm going to sketch on that plane, and then do a sketch view so that I'm oriented to it. I am then going to zoom in here. I know that it's going to be pretty far in, and the diameter of the circle that I'm going to create is going to be, the radius is there is 0.69 for all three of those ears. So if I do 0.69 and I multiply times 2, it's going to be 1.375. So a diameter of 1.375. There we go. Now, I am also going to create another hole, the next ear down and to the right. So I'm just going to kind of go down here, and when I get to them being equal, I'm going to stop, and I'm going to left click and middle mouse button, and I need this to be 2 inches over and 1 inch down. And then to create the third ear, I'm just going to simply mirror the last circle that I created over the center line here. So I'm going to select this feature, I'm going to mirror, and it becomes active when I have something selected. So you do have to select the item first, and then select mirror, and then I'm just going to hover over and left click on my center line, and it creates that feature. But then I can middle mouse button, and it's in place. Okay, so now I have the 3 ears here. As I look back underneath my camera, they need to be tangent with a radius of 2 inches in between each one of these, okay? So to create those, back over here, whoops, wrong one, this one right here. I am going to draw a circle down and to the left here, not on any centers, and I'm going to create it kind of large, and it is going to have a diameter of 4 inches. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of scooch this kind of close to where it's going to be. And then I'm going to hit the tangent constraint up on the top here first. And then I'm going to select this circle and that circle. And then I'm going to hit it again, tangent constraint, this circle and that circle. And now they're tangent. Okay. Try to put them kind of close together, because then Creo doesn't have to make too many assumptions about where you want it placed, okay? And then once I have that placed, I can delete the portion that I don't need, okay? And I'm going to come in here and make sure that it's tangent down here as well. It is. Okay, good. Now, I'm going to kind of center that in there for me. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that segment. I'm going to, oops, I was still in delete, so let me do an undo here. Okay. And I'm going to get out of that and be out of the delete segment. And now I'm going to select that radius that I just created, and I'm going to mirror it again. And I'm going to mirror over this center, and it puts it in place for me. There you go. So it's kind of nice to use and be a little bit more efficient with some of those mirror and copy commands, for instance. And then I'm going to do align at the right quadrant and right quadrant of those two vertical ears or circles. And then now I can delete the segments that I don't need. Here, here. Okay, so that looks like the profile that I need. Okay, so now I'm going to double check before. Oh no, I don't have some things done, and it looks like it's down here. Oh, because I don't have a portion of this deleted. So I need to delete this right here. Okay, and I probably have that same thing up at the top as well. In here, yep, sure enough. I got to make sure I've got good geometry, and that's why I always check the feature requirements. Now I'm good. Now I'm good. Okay. And I am going to hit, let me zoom out here. I'm going to hit OK. And as I middle mouse button, I only want this to be 0.38 thick. Or I'm going to put 0.375. I know that it's that, right? It's going to be to like a common inch dimension. So there we are. Okay. So that looks great. That looks great. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm actually going to put the holes in right away. Since I'm here and I'm on this sketch, I'm going to extrude those holes in place. Again, I avoid using the hole tool, the hole command. I should maybe force myself to use it more. I just feel it's not that easy to use. I'd much rather just extrude a circle and put it in place. So this is going to be 0.5, and I'm going to check it looks good. Okay, and this is actually going to go in the opposite direction, and I want it to go through all surfaces. There we go, and okay. All right, now I'm going to do the other two. I'm going to do another extrude on this plane. Circle, and I'm going to hover over. I can do my sketch plan, my sketch view here. I'm going to hover over that radius so that it activates the center, so I can select it. And this is going to be 0.5, and it looks good. Okay. I'm going to switch the direction through all, and okay. And then one more. Extrude placement on this plane, on that, I should say not plane, on the surface. And I'm going to do a circle. I'm going to do my sketch pane nice and I'm going to activate that radius, snap to that center, 1/2 inch diameter, second, good, okay. Now if I didn't snap to that center, I would have to put dimensions in, okay? But by snapping to that center, it makes that like coincident. So that's why it's okay to do it and it's fully constrained and defined. And it'll always follow that center then. And I want it to go through all surfaces. I'm going to go that way, remove material, and we're good to go. Okay, all right, cool. I'm going to do a quick save here. I don't always remember to do that during my demos, but it's a good thing to do. I always like to say save when you don't want to redraw whatever you've done. Okay, so now we have that base plate there. All right, so let's look back underneath and check out where we're at. So we've got this plate with the ears in place. Now we're going to put in what I'm going to call the handle. So that means that we're going to actually draw looking this way at this profile, and that's going to be on the front plane. And the front plane is right down the center here of, because it's the origin, it's going to intersect with that origin. And that's why it's kind of strategic where we placed it, and you'll see why in a little bit. So what I need to do is I'm going to do the extrude function, but this time my placement is going to be on my front plane. So I need to find my front plane here. So I'm kind of moving this around with my middle mouse button, and my front plane should be this vertical one, like right in here. This one right here, front plane. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to say sketch. And I'm going to orient myself, and now you'll notice that there I am on my front plane. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw that circle. I need to take a drink. Hold on. Now, I'm going to draw my circle. I'm just going to start up here, and I'm going to go down, and I'm going to make it coincident or tangent to that what would be the top plane. Okay, I'm just going to middle mouse button. Okay, now the dimension from this center, remember, I'm going to go like this. This center is the center of that hole. So this dimension is on my print, and it's 4.625. Enter. Okay, 4.625. I'm going to go back to my sketch plane. Okay, and now I have that in place. So that's good. The diameter, though, of this circle is going to be 2 times the radius of 0.875. So that means it's 1.75. And I'm going to see all this. Okay, cool. All right, I've got that. Now the next thing I need to do is I need to put in this radius right here, which is a radius of 4.38. So I need to draw a circle, 4.375 times 2 of 8.75. So I'm going to draw a circle. It's going to have a radius of where I can see that. Oh, it's going to be pretty big. 8.75. All right. So I'm going to move this then. I'm just going to grab that center, and I'm going to move this up right about like something like that. And again, I like getting it close to where it needs to be so that Rio doesn't have to make too many assumptions, and it's easier for it to generate the way that I want it to be. So 8.75 diameter, so that there's a radius of 4.375. Okay, now I know that I need it to be tangent, tangent, and tangent, these two guys. And I also need a tangent to this top surface here. But if I try to make a tangent right now, tangent and tangent, oh, it did it. If it doesn't, okay, and it may or may not, you might have to project that surface forward, okay? But it didn't have to. It actually recognized it. So that was good. It actually worked the way I wanted it to. Cool. All right. And I say actually only in the sense of it worked. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, so I'm tangent here, and now I need to draw a line, okay, from this quadrant in until and even with the bottom here. So you'll notice how I kind of activated this quadrant right there, and I'm going to go down, and it's going to create that little line, and then I'm going to go straight up, and then I'm going to middle mouse button. So again, left click down here on the quadrant, and then I went up. Before I went down here, I activated that quadrant, and then it like found where it would intersect down here, and then I went up, and then I middle mouse button to end it. Now what I can do is I can delete the segments that I don't need. So I can get rid of this, I can get rid of that, I can get rid of this. Okay, I need that, I need that. Let me go back over here. I can get rid of this and this. And I think that means I've got good geometry here. Okay, all right. I'm gonna check right there. Oh, look at that, 2 green check marks. If you don't, look to make sure that you have everything deleted, you know, the portions of the segments that you don't need. If I can hit OK here. Now, This is drawn, remember, on our front plane. And what we want to do is we're going to look back at our illustration. We need this to be centered 0.62 wide total, okay, on that front plane. So we're going to change our depth here to the second one from the top. And this is extrude symmetrically on both sides of the sketch plane. And our sketch plane was that front view. So now look here. Going to be going in the same direction in either case. Our total thickness is what we're going to put, 0.62. And now you'll notice that our dimension here, 0.62, is the total thickness. Excuse me. And then I can hit OK. Oh, sorry. All right, I'm almost done. I don't want to stop. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the hole at the center of this handle. I'm going to hit extrude placement, and I'm going to put it right on that face. And I'm going to hit sketch plane, and I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. I'm going to create my circle. I'm going to activate by just getting on that radius. I'm not clicking on it. I'm hovering over it so that now I can click on it when I go to that center. Our design change for this part is that needs to be at 0.88, 0.875. Okay. And then now what we're going to do, that looks good. And again, if you don't get that corner, it's going to want to dimension it from like edges. But we want it to be coincident and share that same center. So make sure you hover around the outside there and then grab that center when it activates. I'm going to hit OK. I do not want it to extrude. I want it to go in the opposite direction. And I want to set it to through all. And there we go. Okay. All right, there is one last feature I need to create, and that's going to be the rounds into the handle here. So I'm going to hit round, and I'm going to grab, I got to get the vertical line here, right there, okay? And that is going to be at 0.5. If yours isn't 0.5, you change the radius up in the upper left-hand corner here. And then mine is already 0.5. So I just need to zoom out and then be able to see this side over here using my middle mouse button. I'm going to click that vertical line there, and there it is. And then I can hit OK. If I would need, more, I could continue to go. So now I'm just going to put this all in the center here. Look at that. I have now created my part. Okay, cool. I'm going to try to get my best view here. Okay, so now I want to be able to create my snip tool. Okay, so I'm going to use my Windows Shift S all at the same time. Upper left-hand corner, click and drag, 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 drag. Make sure that you include your model tree. I can see then to make sure that everything is constrained. Once you do that and you let go, you now have that on your clipboard so that you can add it to your document that you will be uploading for Learning Plan 3 drawings. Okay, hopefully this is helpful. Let me know if you need any assistance further.